Hey guys, it is Pedro here and welcome back to another video in this YouTube channel. So today, you guys have probably seen by the title already, we are going to be discussing if circulation matters or not for limited items in Roblox. So before we actually get into the main topic of the video, which is if circulation matters or not, let me explain to you guys what circulation is and the metrics that I am personally going to use for this video. So this is the random item that I chose here, the Duke of the Fallen Federation. If you guys come here and click specifically on all copies, because all of the copies matter, not only the premium copies, you're going to see that every single item has a owned since tag. 1 hour ago, a day ago, 4 weeks ago, a month ago. So if we keep on going through pages and pages, you're going to see that when we hit the third page, we see 6 months ago, 7 months ago. The metric that I'm going to use is copies that have been owned for less than 6 months are considered inactive circulation. Copies that have been owned for over 6 months are considered inactive copies. That does not mean that they are unobtainable. It just most likely means that the owner of the copy is not trading it. It is, however, 100% obtainable if you message the right people though. And the reason as to why I'm recording this video is because a lot of friends of mine, you know, who have been trading for much longer than I have, always tell me like, oh my god, Pedro, this item has a lot of circulation, so it is probably going to be a bad item. However, I have noticed that like beginning in 2025, so this is very recent actually, circulation in my point of view has not been a significant factor for most items, and I'm going to explain why. And one thing that you might see is that items like, let's say, I always use these as examples and I'm sorry, if we take a look at the super happy phase, it has around 12,000 public copies, and the Silver King of the Night has around 4,000 or 5,000 public copies. Naturally, these items with a lot of copies are going to have a lot of circulation. You cannot even count the amount of pages that there are of circulation. And my point is, for these demand items, circulation does absolutely not matter. This item could have 5,000 copies in circulation, and it would either way most likely retain the same price, if not even higher. And if you disagree with me, I'm going to give you an example of a demand item that does not have that much copies. The Tattletale Face has around 200 public copies. That is far less than the Silver King of the Night, as an example. If we consider the active circulation of this item, it has around like 60 copies, 70 copies, because we have to go down to page 7 of this item to see like the 6-month threshold. So like if you compare 7 pages to 133 pages, you're going to see that there's a very big difference there. Now let's pick the values of these two items. The Silver King of the Night has a value of 490,000, I believe, and the Tattletale Face has a valuation of 640,000 Robux, but with around 200 publicly available copies. So you see that the difference in value is almost insignificant. There is like a 150,000 difference, and this item goes for very big overpays, a lot more than the Silver King of the Night, as an example. Still, the values are very similar to one another. And why is that? That is the most important question of this entire video. It is because of the amount of proofs. Because of course we are checking these values on Roblox.com. I don't even think there is like a need for me to say anything. I am using Roblox.com, just like you and little Jimmy right there are using Roblox.com as well. The amount of proofs is just not enough to warrant a raise for the Tattletale Face. While the Silver King of the Night has over like 30 pages of owned for less than a week, this item has like 5 copies owned for less than a week. I can 100% guarantee that like if the Tattletale Face had doubled the circulation, it would probably be at over 1 million value right now. And so my verdict is, circulation does not matter for items that actually have demand. I think one of the best examples in this current time that I can give to you guys is the Eyes of Emerald Wrath, Crimson Wrath, and Azure Wrath. If you take a look at the Eyes of Emerald Wrath, they have 47 public copies as of right now. The Eyes of Crimson Wrath, they have 53 available copies right now. And the Eyes of Azure Wrath, they only have 30 available public copies as of right now. And I don't know if you paid attention to the values, but here are all of them at the same time on the screen so you can pay a little bit of attention to the details. So if we're following that same thought of like less circulation equals better, why are the Eyes Eyes of Asia ref not the most valuable ones? Well, the first thing is because of, you know, the circulation. This is the circulation of the Eyes of the Emerald ref. You can see a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So this item has 2 entire pages of very recent circulation. On the other hand, if you take a look at the circulation of the Eyes of Asia ref, you can see that in the first page we already have one that has been owned for over 3 months. If we go to the second page, 1 year ago. So this right here has far less circulation than the Eyes of Emerald ref. So like the Eyes of Emerald ref, they have the best circulation when it comes to item raises, even though the Eyes of Asia ref have far less publicly available copies than the Eyes of Emerald ref. But even then, other external factors might affect this, like, I don't know, the dumbass glow that comes out of the Eyes of Emerald ref could also affect the price of it. But anyway, for the last example that I have for this video, let's take a look at the Neon Green Crazy Crown and the Betty Owl, 2 extraordinarily ugly Roblox limiteds. You can see that the Neon Green Crazy Crown has 7 publicly available copies and a circulation of only 3. And the Betty Owl has 33 publicly available copies and like 5 or 6, depending on how you see it, copies in circulation. Well, there's actually 6. And you know, let's be very honest, those items look like shit. They simply do not look good, period. If items like those had a circulation of over 40 copies, 50 copies, the item would just blast into flames. It would burst, it would explode. I mean, you can just see here, like, when the Neon Green Crazy Crown was hoarded back in 2021, it had a value of 450,000. When it was released, it instantly went down to 180,000 and then it got devalued. So theoretically speaking, the value was 40,000 because it was the recent average price at the time and right now as well. The conclusion that I am personally going to take from this video is that circulation only matters for items that just look bad. If your item looks aesthetically bad, it is only going to do good if it has a good circulation behind it. But anyway, that was the video for today. Please let me know down in the comments if you guys have a different opinion from mine, because I would be very interested to hear that from you guys. So thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you can support me, something like that. Like the video, just do all of that because I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.